Good morning, evening, or afternoon. Today on the Ellison Show, we're going to be talking about something that's been on my mind a lot recently, and that's how people use a person's attributes to examine their achievements. But I'd like to pose a question: Does this only perpetuate? does this only perpetuate um, misconception that only certain attributes affect a person's success? Instead, I like to look more at external factors that lead to success, like community, opportunities, and generation. This way, we can judge the person's success more fairly. This idea is exemplified by Mark Twain when he says, "The trouble with the world isn't that people know too little; it's that they know so much that just aren't so." To begin, I'd like to state that everyone, even I, know that success is a direct result from the amount of meaningful preparation a person does. The more a person practices, the better they be. Uh, but is it fair to assume that everyone has the same amount of opportunities when it comes to practice? Or does everyone have different opportunities depending on how they came up? In the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, it says that elite performers have 10,000 hours of practice, teachers have 4,000, and students have 8,000. The main difference here is that the amount of time the students practice. Gladwell highlights that it doesn't matter how hard a person practiced, but more so when they started. Also, pretty much saying that if you don't have 10,000 hours at something, you haven't fully mastered it yet. This can also be seen in David Omahan's The 10,000 Hour Rule in residency training, where he uncovers that this rule is implemented in post secondary schools where neurosurgery residencies are 6 years, and most students offer to take a extra year of a fellowship. This idea is the same as the 10,000 hour rule because it takes about 6 years to accumulate the 10,000 hour rule. And with the extra fellowship on top, you're then surpassing the 10,000 hours. This shows that program length, structure time, and the availability of specialized training play a significant role in reaching expertise. This challenges the idea that success is a result of personal talent. Instead, shows that it's necessary for external factors to play a role in success. Also, within the book Outliers, it talks about an NHL team and why it has all of the players' birthdays in the first half of the year. Malcolm Gladwell talks about this a lot, mostly because he's interested in why this is the case. Depending on a person's birthday, they could be playing against players that are a year above or below them. So all-star teams and professional teams likely pick a player that has the most experience because of the deadline in where the players could play the year above or the year below. this this way, the team can maximize the amount of experience the total team has altogether. This circumstance is called the Matthew effect, where advantages tend to accumulate for those who already have resources, success, or privileges, while disadvantages compound for those who start with fewer resources or opportunities. These conditions have nothing to do with what the person has said or done, more so what opportunities were given to them compared to others, like their family background or how much time they accumulated in practice, or how many opportunities they had just to practice, whether they were busy or not, stuff like that. Along with family background, a person would also need encouragement and support from their family and peers. This way, they can surpass any rough times that they go through, or any like challenges that want them to stop or take a pause within their success. This is exemplified in a quote from Outliers, where it says, after noticing how the people in the city of Roseto acted towards each other, and noting the difference from cities in early US, both John Burr and Stuart Wolf realized that in order to live longer, we must look at health in terms of community, as who we surround ourselves with has an impact on who we are. In Roseto, uh, the residents' exceptional health was not a result from individual traits such as like genetics or personal habits, but rather a collective environment fostered by the close knit community. John Byrne and Stuart Wolf realized that health was understood in should be understood in terms of community, emphasizing that external factors like cohesion and moral support play a significant role in outcomes. Uh, Also, in a study where researchers have looked at mother's breast milk production after preterm birth, it says that the higher the perception of available support, the greater the chances that the mother will breastfeed, and the greater, as well as the greater the buffer protection support, the less likely the mother is to breastfeed. A higher perception of available support increases the likelihood of breastfeeding, showing how reassurance and encouragement from the environment and community you surround yourself with can positively affect your current situation. Whereas a greater received or buffer protection support correlates to less correlates to less likelihood of breastfeeding. There we go. Suggesting that certain forms of assistance may inadvertently undermine autonomy or confidence. And that would be all for today's show. Thank you for listening to my banter. And thank you for listening to today's show. See you again. Bye.